Nice, and we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gotta Cast 'Em All, a Pokemon podcast. A very special Pokemon podcast tonight, because not only will we be talking about our 25 favorite Pokemon throughout the franchise, throughout the whole series, but we're also celebrating Wolfstalker 25's birthday. Woo! Happy birthday, buddy.
Yay! Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Yes. It's exciting. It's exciting times. You know, and not really, though, because we're still living in the middle of a pandemic, so I can't really do too much, I'm assuming, but I mean, hey, it's a special day. We're gonna celebrate you, and we're gonna celebrate Pokemon because it's Pokemon's anniversary this year. And as we mentioned, we will be talking about our 25 favorite Pokemon. Yes, we sat down and we made a list of our top 25. Now, mine's not exactly in order of like my favorite to my least favorite, but my top 6, so 1 through 6 are my top favorites. So number 1 being my number 1 favorite Pokemon, 2 being 2, 3, etc., etc. And they also just so happen to be my favorite Wi-Fi battling team, and I think that's why they're so special to me. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us. This is a Pokemon podcast where you can watch us every week, Thursday, at random times because life just gets in the way, at twitch.tv/BigLittleBoyGaming, or you can check us out over at twitch.tv/WolfStalker25, and it goes up the following day on youtube.com/dwolfgaming, and sometimes whenever Johnny gets around to editing them and getting them up, it will also be up the following day on youtube.com/BigLittleBoy. But
Yes.
yeah, with all that being said, how are you?
I am good. I am excited. Today was my 26th birthday, so I am cheating on my list today, and 25 is a double slot for me. So I'm doing
There
a
you
26 favorite Pokemon. But it was fun. I really didn't do anything. Like you said, pandemic's going around still. Just kind of hung out at the house, slept. Didn't really do it. Hung out with the family a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought about recording some stuff earlier and then just got lazy, so I might do it tonight, maybe before or after this, and maybe before or after Falcon and Winter Soldier, because we got that tonight too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm doing good. How about yourself, friend?
Not bad. So to kind of catch everyone up on my personal life, our daughter has been sleeping more throughout the night. So we get actually about 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night now, which has been a game changer because her first month and a half of her life, she just straight up didn't want to sleep at night. And if she did sleep, it was only for like 2 to 3 hours. But the last 3 nights, knock on wood, she's been sleeping from midnight to about 5 a.m., which is when I wake up to get ready for work. So that's been pretty awesome. I finally got my microphone in for my actual camera. So with that being said, on this channel, on the Big Boy Little Boy channel, we're going to be doing more video essays. I haven't really talked about that yet on a podcast. We haven't really been open about what's been going on behind closed doors. I'm going to be doing a video essay about why I think Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to be a fantastic game. And I'm going to shoot that this weekend. We're recording this on 3/25/2021. I will be filming that Pokemon video on 3/27/2021. I don't know when it'll go out because Kyle's going to have to edit it. But I'm really excited for this new chapter on this channel. Instead of us just doing podcast stuff like that, we're trying to focus more on, short style videos to kind of, be a little more entertaining and stuff like that, give you some of our personal insights and stuff like that. And I know Kyle, he's got some stuff that he's working on as well. So a lot coming down. Possible brand change on this channel as well. Haven't really been too... What was that?
You don't say brand change.
Yeah, so I haven't really said too much about that yet, but there's been some interesting things in the talks behind closed doors. We already kind of rolled out one of them. You were a part of that one. Big Screen, Little Screen is now Silver Screen Surfers, which I love that name. I think it's so much fun. Obviously, it's a play on the Silver Surfer, and it's a play on the Silver Screen, which is what we talk about on Silver Screen Surfers. If you haven't caught that show before, but you can check that out on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time over at twitch.tv/BigBoyLittleBoyGaming. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about our top 25 favorite Pokemon. Now, again, our lists are completely different, but they're similar. Yes, they're similar. So before we recorded, I sent my list to you. I have no idea what yours looks like. I just realized I didn't share my screen with you, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have my list up on the screen so the so the viewers can see my list in its full entirety. So you said that you wanted me to go first, right? I'll
Either one of us, whichever you want to do. If you want to go first, you could go first. If you want me to go first, I could go first. So.
We'll save the birthday boy for last. I'll let you have the show at the end. But did you want me to like give a reason why it's my favorite Pokemon, or like why it, you know?
If there's one you feel like justifies the reasoning, I might do a little bit on some of them. I might just kind of gloss over a couple, just be like, hey, you know, I use this one here or there or whatever. Kind of just why it's there, but nothing like, you don't have to go super in detail unless you want to.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I like it. So I will just go ahead and pop mine up on the screen. Actually, give me 1 second. It might screw this up. It might not. If it does, I can just do a quick fix really fast. So I'm going to share my screen with you on Discord.
Okay.
Like I said, it might mess up. Yeah, it did, but I can just do it.
Do a line switch real quick.
So I do apologize. I should have done this earlier. Just a quick little howdy do, diddity loo. Mine's already almost done. The audience is seeing how I operate.
God. Bye.
Well, mine's already done. So whenever you're good to go and ready, just let me know. There we go. Nice.
What is it? Play capture? Window capture.
Okay, so I do now have my list up on the screen. So if anybody is watching, they can see that now. If you're watching over on youtube.com/dwolfgaming, you can see my list. If you're watching over on Big Boy Little Boy Gaming, you can see my list in its entirety. You can see that I have nothing after Generation 5. We kind of talked about that a little bit before we went live. I have no love for those Pokemon, apparently. No, I do. I think a lot of those Pokemon are really great. They're really awesome. Honorable mention goes to Greninja from Gen 6, X and Y. He's awesome, but he just unfortunately doesn't make this list. If I had a top 30, for sure. I definitely think so. And we kind of talked about it earlier, how we were kind of joking, like this list could change. Like you ask us to give you a top 25 in like 2 months, it could very easily change.
Yeah.
So, you know, take that with a grain of salt.
Maybe
when you're looking at this list.
Maybe next birthday for me, we do a recap of our 25 favorite, you know, then. But yeah, I mean, ranking this was one of the most challenging things I've done in a while with Pokemon stuff. Was just like trying to pick my 25 favorite was just a pain. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm still not even sure if I'm happy with it.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. I think it just comes to a point where you just have to go, you know what, I'm done. This is it. You know, like I'm looking at one right now, like number 10, for example, is Typhlosion. And I mean, he's interchangeable, but when I get to that, I'll have a saying. I'll explain why he's on there. But whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'll start busting them out.
I'm good. I got you all lined up again.
I love that we know how to, well, at least this is for me. I know how to fix it on a fly now, because when we first started this whole streaming endeavor, you know, and everything like that, using Discord and its overlays, I had no idea how to set these up like this. But now I could fix it in a matter of seconds, which is fantastic. It makes everything so much easier. But without further ado, starting off from number 25, working my way down, we have the one, the only Tyranitar. Now, this Pokemon comes in at number 25. I don't really have a specific reason. I guess I love this Pokemon a lot. I love his design. I love, you know, just how menacing he is. The dark type attributes is really cool. It is rock dark, right?
Rock or ground dark. I think it's rock, yeah.
Yeah,
and he's 4 times weak to fighting. Yes, rock.
Yeah, which is horrible. That sucks for him, you know. But I always thought he was really cool looking. Anytime I had a chance to use him in the game, I always did. And I absolutely love him. So moving on to number 24 is Torterra. So I don't know why I put Generation 3. That's why my list was messed up. He's actually Generation 4. He's Turtwig's evolution, final evolution from the Sinnoh region. I just absolutely love how powerful this Pokemon is. You know, being both grass and ground, I thought that was a really interesting combination. I love having the ability to, you know, take down electric types, no problem with the ground typing, and then, you know, just being an overall monster. I just love his design. I love that he's like the size of a continent. And then in Pokemon Detective Pikachu, the movie, he really was like a giant mountain, you know, moving around and stuff like that. That was a really, really cool design. So moving on to number 23 on my list, we've got Ferrothorn. So I love the steel poison types. I love poison types in general. You'll see number 15 is Muck as well. I think is a fantastic Pokemon, but we're talking about my boy Ferrothorn. I love him for the online Wi-Fi battling scene because he's fast. He's fast and he hits hard. His defense, not so much. And you know, if he's getting hit by any fire Pokemon, he's pretty much ruined because he doesn't really have the best defense either. He's basically set up to use spikes when you first get out there, like set up hazards and stuff like that. And he's really good as a starter to just get some quick damage right off the bat to kind of get the match going. And I've always just loved his design. I'm very inappropriate, and I would name him Hentai every single time. But moving on, is my favorite naked mole rat covered in steel is Excadrill. Love this Pokemon so much. Insane how much I love him. Drillbur is absolutely adorable. I love shiny Excadrill. In fact, I have one in Sword and Shield because he's one of my favorite Pokemon. So I had to make sure I got a shiny version of him. But love how fast he is. Same thing with Ferrothorn. He's very good on the online battling scene where you just start off with them because they're really high attack and speed EVs, and you basically just throw your hazards out. You can use Rapid Spin to clear out hazards on your side of the field. He can do a lot of damage really fast, so he definitely just a powerhouse. Again, though, bad defense, but he's not a tank. He's not meant to withstand hits. Moving on to number 21. If you want to stop me at any point,
I want to make a comment really quick before we get it on either of our YouTube channels. Ferrothorn's actually grass steel, not poison.
Grass steel, not poison. Wow,
So,
I don't want
I don't want the feature. He's grass steel, not grass poison. You're saying it wrong, like type of thing. So.
You know what's funny is after I said he was poison, I started thinking about it in my head. I'm like, no, because he's ×4 weak to fire.
Yeah. I
was like, so he's not poison type, but I just ran with it. Thank you.
He's an odd one. I'm actually surprised you have him in your top 25. I know he's like great for not PvPGs. Wow. He's great for online battling, but I'm just surprised he's there.
Like I said, I just really love his execution, just the usage of him, just being fast, and I love his design. I always named him Hentai. You know, I don't know. He holds a special place in my heart. But Caesar, however you pronounce this Pokemon, I love this Pokemon so much because I remember the first time playing through Generation 2 and getting the metal coat and trading my Scyther over to my friend and it evolving. I didn't know that was going to happen. We both had no idea at the time that was going to happen. And when it did, it was such an amazing feeling. We're like, oh my gosh, we just discovered something so cool. Did we break the game? We were freaking out. I love his design. I love the red sleek he has. He always reminds me of something from like an anime. I know Pokemon is an anime, but I mean like from like Dragon Ball Z. I feel like he would be like an enemy in Dragon Ball Z. It always just kind of, I just really love his design. Moving right along, I'm surprised I don't have more dragons on this list, but Salamence, Generation 3. I really don't have much to say about Salamence, just besides he just looks cool. He just looks like a stereotypical dragon. He's just a big powerhouse. I don't really have a lot, like I said, to say. I just really love his design. I also love his pre-evolutions. Baggin, I always thought was really cool looking with he kind of has like a big like helmet on his head. He's very just powerful, and I just really like that design. Altaria coming in at almost a level at number 19. Again, I love the design of this Pokemon. I think that if Pokemon were real, I think Altaria would be a Pokemon I would want to have for real because I just want to ride on its back. Just sit on its big fluffy cotton balls and just have a great time. I actually have a story with his pre-evolution Swablu. So in Generation 3, when you get to the third badge, you can start breeding at the center. And I had a Swablu and I had a Gyarados, and I bred them, and they just kept having baby Swablus. So I believe there was a female Swablu and a male Gyarados.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I remember they just kept breeding. They just kept spitting out eggs. I just remember laughing with my cousin because we were like, how are these two doing this? Because Gyarados is so big, and Swablu, if you look at his Pokedex, it's so tiny and small. It always just made me laugh. So he's always just had a special place in my heart.
Don't get me started on Skitty and Wailord.
Oh, exactly. It's so funny, dude. Like being able to make these stupid combinations. It's fantastic.
I just want to see the abomination if they like actually fuse species instead of like just popping out whatever the female is.
Have you ever been to that website where you type in the Pokemon and
The
you can
fusion?
have them like,
Yeah, the
yeah,
fusion. There's some horrendous monstrosities on there. I don't want to speak
it's
about some of them.
and like Voltor, or I think it's like Electrode and Charizard just makes Chode.
Have you seen the one of? It's the one the meme going that one around years ago with Doduo and Bellsprout, I think.
Oh no, I haven't.
You need to just stay strong for Mother Clarence. Stay strong for Mother.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to look that one up after this show. So coming in at number 18 is Togekiss Gen 4. Um, again, just really like the design of this Pokemon. I enjoy how fast Togekiss is. Kind of, if you can't tell, my strategy a lot of the time on the online Wi-Fi battling scene is just hit him hard and hit him fast. And that's exactly what Togekiss is. Very fast, has high attack EVs, and pretty good defense too. It could take a punch if you really needed to. You could throw it out there to kind of just take a hit. You know, when ships are down, you can kind of use that time to recover a little bit. And I've always been a big fan of Togepi in general. Togepi and Togetic. I always thought those two were really cool. So when Togekiss eventually came out in Gen 4, I was like, I'm all about it. Moving on to number 18. Whoa, sorry. Number 17, which I'm surprised I didn't put my boy up more. Puff the Magic Dragon, aka Dragonite. Who doesn't love Dragonite? Like, when you see Dragonite in the anime as a kid, and it's this larger than life Pokemon because it's like on that weird island, legit nightmares. I'll never forget that.
Cool episode.
Oh, I love it. Seeing like all the big Pokemon like Charizard and Blastoise and Venusaur and then Dragonite was just so cool. And I've always just been a fan of Dragonite. Very, very strong. Just a good powerhouse Pokemon to have on your team if you're playing online and just in general. Dragon types are always just cool and mysterious. Love them. So again, what I was saying earlier, this list isn't exactly numerical order until you get to the top 6, but Crobat could very easily be replaced on that list. Like I could easily switch out Gengar with Crobat at any day, any moment, because Crobat is an essential for me. I use Crobat in every Wi-Fi battling team just about when I play on Showdown, which I should stream on Showdown. Anyway, I always use Crobat. Very fast. Crossfang is a very powerful move. I don't know. Even when I play the games, if I can get a Zubat and I can get a Crobat from it, I'm going to. I don't know what it is. Bruce Vane is always what I end up naming him as well. Just kind of been doing it since I was a kid. Don't really have much else to say about it. I just absolutely love Crobat. He's always been my little buddy. Number 15, coming in hot from Gen 1 is Muck. So for the longest time, I didn't really mess around with like Coughing or Muck or even like Garbodor and stuff like that. But I don't know what happened. And like I think it was like Black 2. I was playing it and I was just like, you know what? I just ran into a Grimer. I was like, I'm gonna train this. And Muck ended up being a powerhouse, man. Just being able to like poison everything and do a whole bunch of damage with having really high defense was always just kind of appealing to me. And I ended up actually using Muck for a long time, and I started using him online, and I was like, holy crap, this is a very underutilized Pokemon, and I need to start using him a little bit more. Coming in at number 14, the man, the myth, the legend, Gyarados. Again, how can you make a top 25 list, in my personal opinion, and not have Gyarados on that list? Gyarados is just a monster. I mean, the Chinese design being like a Chinese New Year dragon and all these different things, it just looks cool. And then just the magic behind having a Magikarp who is worthless. What? Splash does nothing. You learn Tackle at 15, but your attack stat's so low that it's literally worthless. And then at level 20, it just evolves into this gigantic destructive monster, and it's so cool, so good, especially Red Gyarados in Gen 2, and Gold and Silver, like the whole Lake of Rage and Team Rocket's experimenting and doing all these different things. It's really cool. Love the mythos around that. Love Gyarados. Coming in at number 13 is Ryperia, kind of following the trend from earlier. We were talking about this off camera, but I love when Pokemon get an extra evolution, and that's exactly what happened to my boy Rhydon. So Rhyhorn and Rhydon, not so much really going on, but something about Ryperia just gets me going, man. I love his design. Now, we've talked about this before. You're not actually a big fan of his design, right?
No, me personally, my favorite one is Rhyhorn of the bunch, but as a kid growing up, I really loved rhinos as an animal, just specifically. So when I saw Rhyhorn, I was like, oh, you're cool. And then Rhydon was pretty dope as well. I just think Ryperior just looks too round. He just looks too chunky.
See, that's what I like. I've always been a chonky boy, little thick boy, so I think I just kind of went with him, and he just represents power in my eyes. I just love how strong he is, and I just really like the design of him. Skarmory is actually another Pokemon that for a long time I didn't really mess around with, but then I got into online battling and I saw some of my favorite PokeTubers using him more frequently, and I was like, I'm gonna have to give this, this little Pokemon a try, and I fell in love instantly. I think he's very bulky. He could take a lot of hits, and any Pokemon that can learn Rapid Spin and Whirlwind is so good to have on your team because everybody's throwing spikes or stealth rocks out there when you're playing online, and you need to have someone that can get rid of those. And Skarmory is a pretty good defensive wall, so you could throw him out there, get rid of the spikes, get rid of the stealth rocks, and then have time to kind of think about your next couple of moves because you know that you won't get taken out in one hit because you got Skarmory out there. Now, obviously, fire is going to dominate you and stuff like that. Rock, I think he's ×4 weak to rock because of the steel and the flying type. Is that correct?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if steel's weak to rock.
Yeah, I can't
remember.
Not
100% sure.
Yeah, but Skarmory, I just always thought was a pretty cool tank, and I just like the design too. Really upset he never got another evolution.
Yeah,
but I'm still holding out hope.
He could have easily gotten a baby or an evolution.
Yeah,
like I mean, I guess we got Corviknight for that, but
whatever. I'm not a fan of Corviknight. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he took the limelight away from my boy Skarmory. Let's just say that.
True.
So I spelled his name wrong, but Magnezone. I put Main Zone. My boy Magnets. I love Magnemite. I always thought Magnemite and Magnetron were really cool. Magneton, not Magnetron.
He's a Transformer.
Yeah.
Related to Megatron.
So when he got his third evolution, I was really excited. I love the way this Pokemon looks. He looks like a freaking UFO, man. Straight out of Roswell. Area 51, baby. I just love his design. Again, going back to me loving Pokemon that are fast because he is a fast boy. Again, just, I don't know. I guess I love steel types too. But I noticed there's actually quite a bit on here. So Magnezone is pretty cool. So this Pokemon coming in at number 10, Typhlosion. My very first time playing through Gold and Silver back when they came out in '99, I picked Cyndaquil. I fell in love with his design. I thought he was so cute. I loved it. I bonded with it. I got my Typhlosion, and it was me and Typhlosion for the rest of the time. He will always have a special place in my heart because I feel like Gold and Silver were really the games that made me fall in love with Pokemon and kept making me come back year after year after year with the new games coming out. And even to this day, I think I'm just so in love with Typhlosion, especially more so now that they actually made him stronger. They gave him a lot more attacks and stuff like that because in Gold and Silver, he doesn't really learn much, and it's kind of a stinker. So I'm glad that they gave him the proper, move sets, and like Lava Plume being in Heart Gold and Soul Silver really helped out, and just learning more attacks like Flame Wheel at level 24 or 26. So that's also really nice. Just kind of beefed him up a bit. Moving right along to Blaziken. Oh man, same thing that I said about Typhlosion I could say about Blaziken. He was the first one I picked. I picked Torchic when I first played through Generation 3, and I fell in love, even though he's not my favorite Pokemon. As you can see, Swampert is my favorite Pokemon of all time. But Blaziken holds a special place in my heart. I love that he ended up getting a Mega Evolution, and it was just an absolute monster. Like, disgusting how fast he was, and his attack stat was through the roof, and he was just an animal. But I love it. I love the humanoid design mixed with the chicken. I thought it was really funny looking. But I just had a really good time playing with him. And basically, you're OP in Gen 3 if you pick Torchic, because Blaziken just destroys everything with Sky Uppercut later on.
OP.
Yep. Moving right along, I got number 8. I have Glade again. Love getting this extra evolution, and we talked about it before. Why aren't there more of these? Bring them on. Why do Pokemon stop, at a 4th evolution? Why isn't there like a 5th or a 6th? Like Glade, for example, being the case. Like, I wouldn't mind if we got another version eventually for Glade. So giving Glade the fighting stat, or fighting type, baller. Fighting psychic type, that is so cool. And again, going back to what I talk about, speed and attack, baby. I just have this weird affinity for those typings, you know? So just love, and I love the character design. Always named it She-Hulk. Thought it was really cool. Coming in at number 7, getting up to my top 6, man. Ooh, this is crazy. Number 7, Nidoking. You want to talk about a Pokemon with range? You go with Nidoking. You can play him in a multitude of different ways online. You can have him be a physical, bulky Nidoking. You can have him be a defensive wall. You can have him be a special attacker, which is the one I always ended up using. I always ended up having a Nidoking on my team that had Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Earthquake, just so I can kind of like go against everything, because his attacks, you can get his attack stat through the roof, his special attack through the roof, his defense and special defense. He is just a tank. He is really, really good. Love the design too. Always thought he was just really cool looking, even as a kid. I always loved having a Nidoking, and it's cool because, you know, he evolves at level 16 into, or Nidoran Male evolves into Nidorino at 16, and you get a Moonstone very easily in Gen 1. So you can have a Nidoking buy the second badge, no problem, and then you're pretty much good. Whatever starter you have in Nidoking, you're good for the whole game, because he can learn anything. I absolutely love him. All right, this is where we get into the meat and potatoes, boys and girls. This right here, I'm going to make this list a little bigger. I'm actually going to cover up Wolf. So this list right here are my absolute all-time favorite Pokemon. Like, I love all 6 of these Pokemon so much. And starting with number 6 is Umbreon. And again, 2 through 6 could be interchanged at any given moment. These ones are kind of like not really listed, but these are my favorites. So Umbreon, I love so much. I love cats. I've always had cats my entire life growing up, and Umbreon just reminds me of a cat. Just the whole evolutions, you know, they all remind me of cats, and so I always had a special place for them. But I fell in love with Umbreon's design, the darkness surrounding the Pokemon, like being so entwined with the moon, and like getting your Eevee to evolve at night because it loves you, and then so you get Umbreon, and it's such a cool thing for me. And it's I really like its shiny type as well, with the blue. Love it. It's so sleek. It's so nice. Like, I wish Umbreon was real. In fact, my cat Autumn kind of reminds me of Umbreon a little bit, but using it for the online metagame, I love using Umbreon as a defensive wall with Baton Pass. So what you can do with Umbreon, just a quick little heads up for anybody getting into Wi-Fi battling, use an Umbreon that's EV'd in defense and special defense. But no curse. You got to do some breeding to get it like this if you're playing it on Sword and Shield, which I did. It took a very long time because you have to get an Eevee to learn these baby moves. So you have to breed an Eevee with like different Pokemon to eventually get it to learn Curse. It's an entire nightmare. So if you just want to go to Showdown, PokemonShowdown.com, and just create your Umbreon the way you want, just save yourself the time and effort to do that. But have a special defense and defensive stat EV'd Umbreon with Curse, Wish, Baton Pass, and I usually keep Snarl just in case to kind of have an extra like a physical attack. So what you basically do is you try to Curse 6 times, and then you just Baton Pass. So Baton Pass into like a Breloom, for example, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Breloom is unstoppable because you get all those stat boosts that Umbreon just took onto that Breloom, and it's just lights out. Moving on to number 5, Metagross. I freaking love Metagross. I love the X on its freaking face. I just thought it was so cool, and it coming from like a meteor was really cool, I thought, as well. I like how you get him from Steven Stone if you beat the the Elite Four in Gen 3. He gives you one.
I think so.
A little Matang, I think its name is.
Beldum.
Yeah,
Matang's
that's
metal.
what it is. Yeah, there you go. So really cool. Just love the design of this Pokemon. I think it's Psychic Steel.
Yep.
Yeah, I love, that's a really cool typing itself. You know, you can be physically attacking while also having like psychic type moves. Pretty cool. So Arcanine is another one of those Pokemon that just holds a special place in my heart. I love its design. I really do. Watching Gary ride on his Umbreon in the anime was really cool to me. I was like, awesome. I was like, man, why can't I do that? And it's just, again, I'm a broken record, but I love Pokemon that have high attacks and speed stats. I like to hit hard and fast. Breloom, Number 3 from Gen 3. I think this Pokemon's design is so derpy, and I just love it so much. He just looks so dumb, but it's so funny. Just a humanoid mushroom. Like, this is straight out of like Mario's nightmares, man. He's just going around punching people in the face, and he's very, very strong. You can have a very bulky Breloom, which is what I did a lot of the time, and he was one of the Pokemon that I would use that Umbreon technique into, and then just one-hit everything with Sky Uppercut. Like, I've seen some Brelooms take out, Blissies in 2 hits, and everyone knows Blissey has like 700 HP and has one of the highest defense stats in the game, so it's pretty impressive, but you can take that thing out in like 2 hits. Moving on to Gengar. This is another Pokemon that I just fell in love with its design and just the mystery surrounding it being, what was it, like the earliest anime talked about how it was like the ghost of Clefable.
Yeah, there's that rumor and like not rumor, but kind of like fan theory that Gengar's a dead Clefable or a Clefable shadow, which is kind of cool because they're the same designs. It's just missing the wings, pretty much, and it's missing the little thing on the top of the head.
Yeah. Always thought that was really, really cool. I think ghost Pokemon are awesome and underrated. Like, I'm trying to think. Chandelure is another one of those Pokemon that I feel like could have been on this list at any moment, but I just didn't include Chandelure. But I've always been a big fan of ghost typing, so it was just another one of those Pokemon that I thought was a no-brainer to add on here. And Gengar, for me personally, I like to use a lot on Showdown as a suicide bomber, essentially. High speed, high attack, and then use explosion. It's just kind of like to judge the battlefield to see what your opponent's going to do, and he serves his purpose. And he could also be a cursor. You could use curse on him to take away half your opponent's HP, or you take away half your HP and you put a curse on your Pokemon or your opponent, and it does some wonders. But leading into my number 1 favorite Pokemon of all time, and he's actually my little avatar underneath me on my overlay that Wolf has made for us, is Swampert. Oh my gosh. So like I said, I picked Torchic the first time I played through Generation 3 of Hoenn, my favorite video game, or my favorite generation. But my second time playing through it, I picked Mudkip. Thought Mudkip was so cute, loved its little design. I didn't see Swampert before at this time because May eventually just stops having, being your rival around like the 7th gym, so she doesn't ever get the fully evolved 3rd evolution of the opposite of who you started off with. So I didn't see Swampert yet, and so I started the game up again, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick Mudkip this time. I like water types. Never thought it was gonna end up being a water ground type, and loved it. Fell absolutely in love. Muddy Water I thought is a fantastic move. I mean, Quagsire learns that too in Gen 2, but never really was a big fan of the design of Wooper and Quagsire. But I think Swampert just looks cool. He just looks menacing, but awesome, and like just like someone I would want to hang out with. He's almost got like a humanoid type thing. He kind of reminds me of the creature of the Black Lagoon a little bit, but a little more colorful. And I've always just been a big fan of the way it looks. It's like the way it moves, its animations in the games. I've always used it on Wi-Fi teams. I just have a really good time whenever I have a Swampert on my team. And that's all I really have to say. And those are my top 25 favorite Pokemon.
It is funny how Swampert overshadows Quagsire and Wishcast so well. It's just like, oh, I'm better than all of you. It's just so funny.
Yeah, like Wishcash isn't even like I don't even put him in a category with Swampert.
He is water ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can never remember him because he's just kind of a forgettable Pokemon. As sad
exactly.
As it is. But yeah, your list is good. It's very solid. How many Gen 1s did you say you had in this list? Like you were Gen 1 and 3 heavy, right?
Yeah. So I have 6 Gen 1 and 7 Gen 3.
Okay. I'm in a very similar boat, as we will see here in a second, but the few that I can think of off your list that are just kind of like I said, Ferrothorn was just like one that was like, I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised with Muck, if I'm being honest. I didn't know you were a Muck fan. Or Glade. I didn't know you liked either of those.
Big Glade fan.
But, so, getting into my 25/26, this was, like I said earlier, this was a nightmare. This was so awful trying to pick my 25 favorite, because I don't even know if these are truly my 25 favorite. These are kind of just like based off of like my use of them in game for some of them, obviously.
Yeah.
Some of them are just flat out because of their design, kind of in general, and then some of them do have a little bit. They kind of come just from watching the anime as a kid and liking them and seeing them appear so much that it kind of made me appreciate the Pokemon just because of the personality the show gave them. And then I kind of try using them in game, and sometimes they don't work out as well. But, it's, they're still great Pokemon, and I love all of them. And so just a couple quick honorable mentions. Also, if you're watching this on my end of the stream or on my channel for the video later, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have a different overlay than Andrew does right now. Mine has 25 Pokeballs on it. I will be having all the Pokemon will be popping in there, so if you're questioning why you don't see them, they should be popping in the video editing. I kind of want to get a little adventurous this time and try to do an experiment. So we'll see how well that works. It might turn out horribly, but if you do enjoy it, let me know. So my 25th favorite one, I'm doing this as a tie right now because I did not include an evolution like you did. Yeah. Or wait, I should probably say my honorable mentions very quick. A couple honorable mentions. Vulpix and Ninetales. I love the both of them. They aren't on here. Nidoking, I wanted to put him on here, but him and Nidoqueen, I just couldn't, but I love the both of them. Ponyta, I really, for some reason, like Ponyta. I don't know why, especially Galarian Ponyta. Umbreon, I love that evolution. It was pretty much tied, but I had to go with my original favorite. Tyranitar, Entei, Salamence, and Flygon didn't make it, unfortunately. There's Chandelure, you could say, as well, but for Gen 6, spoiler alert, I don't have any Gen 6 or 8 on here. But the few that I would have put on here, if I would have been Talonflame, Noivern, Yveltal. This is a Gen 7, but Decidueye could have made it. Corviknight and Dreadnought. If I had a little bit more time with Dreadnought, I think Dreadnought would have been the 25th, because he's the only Pokemon I fully was breeding for a good one with stat-wise on Sword and Shield, but I really do like the little turtle man. But so my 25th and 6th favorites, getting into it, are, because he's on here, Flareon is my favorite evolution. I always liked it. I've never really used it, but I really just love the puffy little fox cat doggo thing. And the actual 25th one would be probably Mamoswine.
Wow.
I always liked Swinub's cute little design back in Gen 2. I never used it, but I always just liked it. I was like, oh, that's a cute little thing. Little fuzzball Karibo-like thing. It's kind of cute. And Piloswine is okay, but Mamoswine was one that I always used in I used it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver in like the tournament that we did at GameStop before in the past. And it was just one that I was like, all right, you're going to be at 100 and I'm just going to use you for random battles against friends. And then I continued using him through like Black and White, just in battles online and against people. And he's just one I've always liked. So that's those two. 24. I put Onyx here. So this one, he's a little bit special to me. It kind of comes from the anime, because I really enjoyed Brock, and I loved his Pokemon. That's why I like Vulpix so much. I really like Geodude, but Onyx was always just my favorite of his, and it ended up being a name that I picked for my dog that I had gotten. He was a black lab, and I named him Onyx after it. My mom thought we named him Onyx because of the stone, because of the Onyx gemstone. She's like, well, it's named Onyx after the stone, so she named him with a Y instead of an I. And I was always like, no, we name him with an I. He's named after a Pokemon. He's named after a big rock snake, not a gemstone. But yeah, so Onyx is just always one. I wanted to put Steelix on this list, but I was like, I actually like Onyx more, even though I use Steelix more. I just like Onyx's design for some reason, even though he's super basic. But 23 for me. Dusknoir, I don't really have a reason. He's just kind of a cool ghost. I always liked him in Gen 4. I used one online. I used one in teams. 22, same thing. I use this. I don't have a full reason. I used it on my team in Black and White, but it's Golurk.
Okay.
I have a weird obsession with ghost type Pokemon and dark types and kind of fire types, but I really like Golurk a lot. My only reason being is that he was just one that I used on Black and White teams playthroughs. Next up, 21, Crocodile. Another one from Black and White. Again, on my team when I played through. I think it was on my team because obviously I want to say I played White first.
Yeah.
Got stuck. Couldn't beat it because my team was underleveled because I kept swapping Pokemon out because I kept liking so many Pokemon. So I swapped them all over to Black. Played through Black. Traded them back over to White and then beat White. And Crocodile is one of my Pokemon I used there.
Amazing.
I think he's kind of speedy, but he's a ground dark type and he's a big old crocodile and he's really cool. He should have been an honorable mention as well, but Feraligatr, I don't know why, but I really like the gator style Pokemon, even though I hate like reptile like creatures in real life, but I love them in Pokemon. But getting into 20, another ground type, surprisingly, we've had 3 in a row, but Gliscor.
Oh man, Gliscor, I forgot about Gliscor.
Gliscor,
oh my gosh,
is such a cool Pokemon. I loved Gligar in Gen 2, but he was so worthless. I don't know why. I always loved his design. I loved his Pokemon card. He was super cool, but as soon as Gen 4 came out and they gave all these really underappreciated Pokemon from Gen 1 and 2 evolutions and 3, Gliscor was just one that was just... He was with Mamoswine. It always hurt me because I had 2 ground types, but I loved having the 2 of them together, and I loved having him in general.
Yeah.
But number 19, Torkoal. Gen 3 turtle Pokemon. I don't know why I really love this guy. I want to make him work on a team on a playthrough at one point in time. But I think my main reason for liking him is just because the anime, because Ash's Torkoal had such a cool personality. But he's such a cool little turtle Pokemon. I wish he had an evolution. He's one I feel like would look really cool with an evolution. Maybe, I don't know, do something like Blastoise. Give him cannons that he shoots fire out of. I don't know. Number 18, Exorus. Another black and white Pokemon. There are a few dragons on here. Like I said, I have a very strong love for some dark types, ghost types, fire types, but I really like dragons. And I always thought this guy was a pseudo-legendary. I didn't know he wasn't. I didn't realize Hydreigon was the pseudo of the region. I thought Haxorus was, because Haxorus is one of my Pokemon with Golurk and Crocodile and Chandelure that I used on my team in black and white, and I love the Pokemon. I think I got him to level 100. I don't remember if I've got the shiny one that you get in black and white too, but I really love this guy. He's so cool. He's got the blades on his mouth and face, and he just looks awesome. Number 17, Heracross. I think he is the only Gen 2 Pokemon on this list. He could easily be swapped out with probably Entei, or with probably Tyranitar, or Umbreon, or, Steelix, but I just, for some reason, really like him a lot. His Mega was really cool. Kind of sad he never got an actual evolution, but he's just a really cool beetle Pokemon.
Yeah.
16. I think this is one of the only legendaries on this list. Kyogre.
I didn't even think about putting legendaries on my list.
I wanted a few. I wanted a Veltal. I kind of wanted Palkia. Kind of wanted Giratina. But I was like, I got an Entei. I kind of want to put some of those on there. But I was like, do I put them on here? Like, is it cheating? You don't use the legendaries that much, but when you do, they're so awesome. And Kyogre being from probably my favorite game I've played out of the Pokemon series, and I would argue my favorite generation maybe is Gen 3, and Sapphire was the first game I went real hard in as a kid, and I love this big goofy red and blue whale like thing. He is just so cool. He's such a menace, especially back in the older games when you just see people one-hit KOing with sheer cold, and he's just he has a really cool design too. Like, he's very basic, but he looks cool, and I just love this guy so much.
Yep, I agree.
Number 15. This one is one that I haven't used in a long time, but it's Electivire.
Mm.
I really like Elekid. I like Electabuzz. I never really used them, but Electivire was one that I picked him up in online battles in
Yeah.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I've just liked him ever since. And
Yeah.
he's got a pretty cool design. A little weird, but he's kind of like a big Sasquatch style thing. But he's just cool. I just like him. Sasquatch, tiger thing.
Right.
But let's see, where are we at? 14. Number 14 for me is Lapras. Just big, bulky, water ice type. I mean, you get it given to you in Generation 6 as your little riding Pokemon or whatever in X and Y. Obviously, it's a crazy good one in Gen 1. It's hard to get, but it's possible to get in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I don't think it's in Gen 3. I don't remember. But Lapras is just such a cool one. It's another one that I've used in online battles before as well. The anime one was super cool. It's just, it's got such a cool Loch Ness Monster design, and it's an awesome Pokemon and a classic. And if I were to switch it out, I forgot to honorable mention this guy, but I don't have Gyarados on here. I think Lapras and Gyarados are interchangeable for me as well.
I honestly, I could feel the same.
They're just such good water types, especially from Gen 1, where Gen 1 has a lot of really good water types to begin with. Number 13. I don't know why he's this low on the list. Like, he could have been lower, this high. He could have been lower, but it's Torterra.
Yes.
It's my favorite of the Gen 4 starters. Turtwig was my favorite one when I first started playing. Little Turtle, again. I like turtle Pokemon. Shockingly enough, Blastoise and Squirtle aren't on this list, but I like the turtle Pokemon. Torterra's awesome. He's going to be my go-to when I play Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl later this year. I'll probably hunt him down if he's in Legends Arceus. He's just such a cool Pokemon. I love Infernape more for the anime arc that character has, like that Pokemon has, because Ash's Infernape is just awesome.
Yeah.
But in-game usage-wise, I just love this grass ground powerhouse. Moving on to number 12. Stereotype Pokemon, Gen 4 favorite, Lucario.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love him in Super Smash Bros. Brawl when he came out. Even though it's not a very fun game for a lot of people, I loved Lucario. Lucario was super cool in the games. I didn't use one on a playthrough until probably Black and White 2 or something. I think it's Black and White 2 where you could get one super early on.
Yep.
He's just insanely strong. He's pretty fast. He's a steel fighting type, so he's relatively durable, but also kind of squishy at the same time.
Right.
He reminds me of Anubis, which is my favorite god in Smite when I play that game, and I just love that whole Egyptian mythology stuff there with him. So he's just such a cool Pokemon, and they finally have given Ash one in the anime, spoiler alert, but he's awesome in there too. Number 11, and this is back to my Gen 3 love, Aggron.
Man, I forgot about Aggron. Holy crap.
Another weird Rhino Pokemon style thing. Bringing back to my love a little bit earlier about talking about Rhydon and liking rhinos a lot as a kid. Aggron is just super cool. I want to say I had 2 Aggrons on my team at one point in time in Gen 3. I've built a very memeable special attacking Aggron in the past, and then I have the physical attack one. He is just so ridiculously cool. Being rock and steel, he's super weak to fighting type, I believe, but he's still pretty dope, and I love his design and everything about him. Number 10. This one is fun. Getting back to Gen 5 again, Hydreigon.
Man.
He's not a great typing, being dark and dragon, but he's got a cool design, got a cool name. His pre-evolutions are awesome. I think he is one of the latest evolving Pokemon, being at 64.5.
Yeah, I never understood that. That, like, Braviary too, right?
Braviary is like high 50s, I think.
Still
Larvesta
ridiculous.
and the Volcarona is like 70.
Oh my gosh.
Gen 5 really took you through the ringer with high evolution Pokemon. But Hydreigon's so cool. He is kind of memeable now because I think back in like a tournament in Black and White era or like X and Y era or somewhere, I think someone used one in a tournament and it lost to like a Pachirisu. So he's kind of, I think, memed on at this point. But he's still super cool looking. He doesn't have arms. He does. Oh, I remember why I like him so much. He reminds me of King Ghidorah from Godzilla.
Ooh, yeah, I could see it.
He's a Ghidorah in a different color, in a black and blue, dark blue, and he looks super cool, and I just love that. But moving under the top 10. So everything up to this point, as well, like you said, a lot of them are interchangeable. I think the top 10 are my ones that these are kind of here. I think Aggron and Torterra maybe could sneak their way down lower, but I think everyone here is like kind of here. So number 9 is Gen 1 lover, again, Arcanine. Crazy tiger puppers. Another one of my favorite animals as a kid was a tiger. I love tigers and rhinos. I don't know why, I just did. I really love dogs, so give me a cool fire dog. Fire is probably my favorite typing in the game. I don't really know why. It's not super great, but it's a very aggressive typing. And Arcanine being super fast, able to hit super hard, you know, like you said, you like the fast, hard-hitting Pokemon. That's kind of why I liked Arcanine as well, because there was a time where I liked battling, and I liked being like, all right, I'm going to just go for the outspeed. If I can. I'm not a big online battler. I've used Showdown a few times. I battle a little bit online in some of the games, but Arcanine's one that he sneaks his way onto the teams, and he's not the best, but he's not the worst. And he's got that nice middle ground where you could kind of like pull some quick hits out with him, and he's super fun to use. And he's got an amazing design. I think there's that rumor going around where Arcanine was supposed to be the middle legendary originally in Gen 1,
really?
Maybe? I think there was some theory that he was supposed to be like a middle legendary. Like he was supposed to be a legendary, and then they ended up scrapping him and maybe creating Moltres or something after that. Don't quote me on that 100%, but I think he had something like that.
Yeah.
Number 8, Gengar. He's got a special story, and I've told it before, but I'll tell it quickly. Gengar, for me, I have one that I still love on my original yellow cartridge that I got from one of my old neighbor friends where I used to live. And he just was like, yeah, you know, I'm playing yellow. He was playing like red or blue or maybe yellow at the time. And he was like, oh, I got this Haunter. I don't want it. Here you go. And I was kind of early in the game. I don't remember where I was, but he was like, just trade me whatever. Go get a Pidgey. And he was like, I'll take a Pidgey. So I trade him this Pidgey for this Haunter, and it evolves. And I freaked out because I was like, he's so cool looking. Like, granted, back in the Pixel games and those ones, he like didn't look great, but like he still looked super cool, and I was super excited. And I'm this little kid, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, he just evolved, and what'd he do? And like, I had this one that knew Thunderbolt, and he disobeyed me, and it reminded me of Ash's Charizard in the anime, so there's like a connection there as a kid, and I just love this Pokemon. I've used him in several games. I used him in an X and Y playthrough. I've probably used him other places throughout. I've used him online. Being a fast special attacker, I've used him. So he's just a super cool Pokemon. His Mega was dope. His shiny Mega is awesome being white. They need to do an edit and change his normal shiny that you can't even tell like is shiny and make it white for his normal one or something, because his normal shiny is lame, and they need to fix it because he's an awesome Pokemon and he deserves it. And they're retconning Pokemon. They changed Combuskin shiny a couple months ago, so they need to change Gengar. Number 7, more Gen 1, Tauros.
Yeah, Tauros, really.
He's just a bull. I don't know why I like him. I just like him. My friend recently caught a shiny Tauros in Pokemon Go, about a couple months ago, and once that Go to Home transfer came in, since he doesn't have the Let's Go games, he traded over his Tauros. Or wait, yeah, I think he traded his Tauros to his Pokemon Home, and then he traded me in Sword and Shield and gave me a shiny Tauros. So I've always used Tauros just randomly. He's pretty fast, especially if you EV build him for speed and like physical attack. He can hit hard. He's got a decent move pool with like Earthquake and other physical attacking moves, and he's just pretty basic being a random bull, but he's super cool. Um, Moving on from there, number 6, Metagross. He probably should be a little bit lower on the or higher on the list technically in the 1 through 4 spot. But I haven't used one enough. But the bit that I have used him, I love his design. Psychic Steel type, super cool. He's got an awesome shiny being silver and gold.
Yes.
He's used by probably the second best champion, or the first, if you want to say, Steven Stone.
Yeah.
He is a powerhouse online. He could be a physical attacker. He could be a special attacker. He could be a wall. He is just such a terrifying Pokemon. He could die pretty quick too in battles, but he is so awesome looking. It's really kind of a shame that you don't get him until you beat the champion in Gen 3, but he's still cool. And the shiny one that they gave out with, I think, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was dope. So that one was a pretty fun one. I've loved using them on teams before. Alright, getting in the top 5. These are the ones that, like you said, like these are here. They don't change. My top 1 through 4 are probably an even tie between my actual favorite. Any of them can change to my favorite any day of the week. It just depends. Number 5 is slowly rising for me as like a tie for top, like the 5 being the favorite. But number 5 is Lycanroc from Sun and Moon. He's the only Gen 7 Pokemon on here. I love this design. Obviously, my name has Wolf in the name. It's a name that was given to me by the same friend that traded me that Gengar back in Yellow. It actually, the name derives and comes from Halo. That's kind of why the symbol is based off the Halo Lone Wolf symbol. But I love wolves. I love dogs. You give me a awesome dog Pokemon with 3 different pretty cool forms. I'm not a massive fan of the Midnight form, but the Midday and the Dusk form are super cool. I love this doggo. I just need to use him more. I used him on a Sun and Moon team, but he was built pretty bad, so I need to like remake one and use it. But I love this thing. I need to get one.
I'm in the same boat as you. I really like its design. I just never really used it, and I want to use it myself. I'm thinking about possibly doing some showdown streams here soon, as we've been talking about all these Pokemon and stuff like that. And I might build him up and see how he is. He's
pretty cool. Obviously he's a physical attacker, but I think you can make him pretty fast, and I just really like him. It comes to, like, there's a lot of dog Pokemon on this list and dog favoritism, but I like dogs a lot. I'm a dog person. I like cats too, but I've never been allowed to own a cat, so I've always had more dogs, and I just naturally gravitate towards them a bit more. All right, onto the 4 that are all tied. I love them all equally. Number 4, Blaziken. Probably, I mean, he's tied for my favorite fire starter. He's my favorite of the firefighting types. That they did the major sin of releasing 3 in a row. But
yeah,
Blaziken's awesome. He's a cool chicken hawk man. He is super powerful. He was my first starter on my Sapphire game. He was the first Pokemon ever to reach 100 for me, I believe. He carried me through the game. I did the method that people call Charizard in the game, but I did it with Blaziken, so I Blazikened the game, and he carried that game so hard for me. I love this Pokemon. I still have my original Blaziken as well in Pokemon Home or on Sword and Shield now from that Sapphire game. So he's still alive. He's probably like 15 plus years old, maybe, but he's still alive and kicking. I've got him out there. He probably should have his EVs reset and retrained, but you know, he's still there. But I love this guy so much, and he's tied with this next one, number 3, being Charizard, for my favorite fire starter of all time. Charizard is just like, what can you say about him? He's everyone's typical favorite fire-breathing dragon, and it's a shame that he's never been dragon-type except for his 1 Mega, but he's still awesome. He's got a great design. He's not overly complicated, but he's not super simple. His anime arc with Ash's Charizard is awesome.
Amazing.
He's shown up several times. He's a fan favorite in the series. Obviously, his Pokemon cards sell insanely high prices. It's so much so that people are scalping new sets that really aren't worth anything until years from now, and they're buying up all of it just because Charizard is in the series, like in the set.
Yep.
It's insane. This Pokemon easily could be the mascot at this point, but he's so hated because of how loved he is at that point too.
I know.
Like as many people love this Pokemon, there's that many people that hate him just because he exists. Like,
Yep.
he is my favorite, probably final evolution of any starter. I love this thing. I have probably like 6 of them built. At one point in time, I used an action replay. Yeah, shame on me. And I cloned the same one, and I re-edited stats a little bit with using it. And I made like several of them because I didn't want to use Pokemon Showdown and we won the battle in game. But I love this Pokemon. I don't have any of those anymore, but he's so fantastic. And being a 90s kid, you know, everyone loves dragons and they love cool Pokemon, and he's awesome. So number 2, this is another Gen 1 love one, but number 2 is Bulbasaur. If I were to say I love Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. They're all adorable. They're all fantastic. But Bulbasaur, to me, for some reason, even though I don't really care for Venusaur and Ivysaur that much, Bulbasaur has always been one that I've just used a couple times, and I love it. I love Ash's in the show. I just love his design. He's super cute. He's the number 1 Pokemon for a reason. You know, I mean, granted, you could say Mew is the first, you could say Rhydon's the first because it's the first design, but Bulbasaur is first in the Pokedex, and that makes him equally picked for number 1. But sadly, he's not number 1, and number 1 is Darkrai.
Nice.
I don't know why I like him so much. He shouldn't be loved because I never get to use him anywhere because he's a mythical. He's only been given out a few times, but you know, as a kid, I used the action replay in Pearl version to unlock the event to go do it and get him, and I had one that I used in battles against friends, and Dark Void, Dream Eater, Nightmare is such a disgusting combo, and he's just he's such a cool looking Pokemon, just being this like phantom shadowy ghost, even though he's not a ghost type, which is kind of crazy to me, but like he's just so awesome, so cool. He got an awesome color scheme as well. He's so basic and like complicated at the same time with his design that he's so sick, and I love this thing so much. And I wish he wasn't a mythical so I could use him more.
Right.
But that is my 25. Obviously, in the editing, I will be having these pop-ups. You'll see them all on screen. And maybe at this point in time in the video on my end, I might have Andrew's 25 and my 25 together on the screen where you could see them together.
That's going to be so insane.
So you'll see some
doubles.
similarities. Yeah, like I think we doubled up on Gengar, Arcanine, Blaziken, Metagross. Is that it? I think that's it.
So.
Yeah, I think that's it. We had some doubles. I easily could have had similar lists to yours though. Crobat could have been on there. Altaria and Salamence could have been on there. I really like Altaria's design. You had
Salamence on yours.
No, he's an honorable mention.
No Salamence. That's right.
He should have been. Dragonite wasn't on mine either. Could have been, but Gyarados as well. Like we talked about this off camera before the podcast, but we could have easily done a top 25 of just Kanto Pokemon. Like it could have happened, and
oh yeah, it really could.
I had to fight not to put Ninetales, Nidoking, Gyarados, Dragonite, Zapdos, and Moltres on this, and Articuno. All 3 of the birds are awesome. I had to fight not to put them on this list.
Well, I mean, those are, you know, other episodes we could very easily do. We could do a top 25 of every generation if we wanted to.
True. We could even do top 10s, make it even harder on ourselves.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You'll get to, you know, later generations, it's a little easier because there's only like, you know, I think like 80 new Pokemon in Gen 6, but I mean, this was fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Ranking Pokemon is not easy.
No.
not easy. And you know what better time though to rank these things than the 25-year anniversary of Pokemon?
Yeah, and being your 26th birthday.
True. That's why I cheated. There's 26 on my list.
That's true. But thank you guys so much for joining us and hanging out. It was such a pleasure to sit here and discuss our top 25 favorite Pokemon with everybody. I can't even believe that we were able to sit down and come up with lists because, like we just said, we could very easily do it for every generation. It's so hard ranking them, but we did it. And like we also both said, our lists are interchangeable. At any moment, we could change them. Like Charizard should have been on my list, and I'm beating myself up that he's not. Like Typhlosion could have been taken off. Charizard could have replaced him in an instant. Blastoise is another one.
Same.
Articuno, you know, like you said, the three birds. Kyogre, you mentioned. I mean, Suicune for me. Like, we're gonna have to do more of these. This is a lot of fun, like you said. But
I would love to hit a top 10 of just each gen at some point. Just a top 10 it.
That's what we're gonna do. Be on the lookout. We're coming up soon because there's not really that much news going on right now for Pokemon. So that's what we're gonna have to do. A lot of these episodes are gonna be top 10s, top 25, stuff like that. But thank you guys again so much for joining us. If you liked what you heard, make sure you head over to twitch.tv/BabyLittleBoyGaming. Hit us with a follow. If you have some money and you want to help support the channel, you can subscribe to us as well. Also, don't forget to check out David over at Wolfstalker25. Go to his twitch.tv/Wolfstalker25. You can catch this show every Thursday as we record it live. It's usually between 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you check the VOD up over on youtube.com/dwolfgaming the very next day. And if Johnny gets it out, it's on our channel as well over at Big Boy Little Boy Gaming. So just be on the lookout for more episodes. Thank you guys so much. Happy birthday again, David.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to do this show with you. I love it every single week. I can't wait for many more episodes. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Yes. So without that being said, do you have any final words before we end this?
So this one, like you said, should be up tomorrow. Might be up a little later. Maybe expect it Sunday, Monday, since I'm gonna do a little effort on the recording side or the editing side of things. So, but this has been a blast. It's been a fun birthday. I've been looking forward to this all week. Let us know in the comments of either of our videos try and make a 25 list of your own. Maybe even a top 10 if you don't want to make it as crazy in depth, or a top 5 if you want to write less. But, you know, let us know your favorite 5, 10, 1 Pokemon. If you did enjoy the videos on either of our ends, don't forget to leave a like down below. Subscribe as well to either of the channels. You know, it's appreciated and we love it. And hopefully I have more content coming out on my channel soon if I get the feeling of it and I can do something, because I got ideas swirling in my head. But thank you all for watching on my end, and I will see you all next time for myself.
All right, bye everybody.